What I was doing is what I'm still doing. I'm in the active United States Army, in the process of retiring after 20 years of service, and now going into college hunks right now. I spent 17 years in special operations aviation, and then moved to Fort Carson, Colorado in 2013, knowing that I decided to retire. I have two young boys, one's 2 and one's 3, so I wanted to watch T-ball, and the Army isn't the best organization in the world for time off. You know, I want to make sure that my kids get as much time as they can have. So my intent, up to and including last year, was to get out of the Army and get a job like everybody else, 9 to 5. LinkedIn, there was a white paper about veterans don't buy franchises, which is true because we don't want to lose all our money, invest all our nest egg during a difficult transition. I made a comment that it was, we didn't want to lose all our cash, and a company called the Entrepreneur Source hit me up and began to ease me into the idea of owning my own franchise. As soon as I was contacted, as soon as I got in contact with College Hunks, I pretty much knew I was going to buy it. They had the right energy level, they had the right culture to fit my personality, and I knew that I would be a franchise owner at that point. So what makes College Hunks the right fit? Simply the energy level. The culture really is impossible to beat. They really focus on their employees. The building leaders concept is extraordinary. I've spent all my entire adult life building young people into great Americans in the military, and I believe that College Hunks can do that on the outside world also. And that's really what drove me to make sure I was going to buy the College Hunks franchise. Although I believe they're looking for energy, they're looking for somebody who's willing to take the company forward further, not just to sit back and run a College Hunks hauling junk and College Hunks moving franchise, but somebody that's looking to go higher and beyond just hauling somebody's old chair and couch or moving them from place to place, but to really get into the brand's purpose and make something greater. I think that nobody wants a guy in a tank top smelling like 3D old garbage to show up at their house and move their belongings. They want somebody professional. They want all that. And I think the industry's got to come around to the College Hunks way of life. You got to focus on the customer. You have to be 100% customer focused, and that's the only way it should be. And you got to be professional, be on time, and be presentable. So right now I'm in the opening phase. So the day is spent generally emailing and calling people to try to get my business set up and organized, so that when the day I turn the key and let trucks run out, that I'm ready to serve and grow the business. The candidates I'm looking for are coming to me in the form of soldiers getting out of the military, transitioning into college for the fall of this year. Generally, getting employees on board at the very beginning is difficult for most franchisees. My military service and my ties to that organization has allowed me probably to hurdle some of the first issues that most guys and gals have. How large is the opportunity for growth? I think at this point, the opportunities are endless. I think that there's a lot of ground still left to be swallowed up by College Hunks hauling junk all over the country. And I think the right entrepreneurs, the right business leaders are going to take advantage of that and build College Hunks hauling junk and College Hunks moving into a greater business. My main customers are primarily working individuals, professionals, people that value their time more than they value the cost of the service. Somebody that wants somebody to come in and they can let us go with all their belongings and know that they'll go from point A to point B in the right place, or they'll get donated to the right organization, and want to be secure, and that'll happen without the worry of theft or the worry of who's going to be in my house, who's going to be there with my wife, grandmother, mother, etc. So clean cut, organized employees showing up to somebody's house. So that working professional group, and then women really, a lot of, they can be secure, they can call somebody to help them do something, whether it's moving a couch from the third floor to the basement. They don't have to be concerned about who's in their house. So the transient nature of Colorado Springs is growing. So there's a lot of people moving in, especially in the northern parts of the city. People trying to take advantage of the lower home costs and things like that, and still traveling to Denver every day. So Denver is really big in business right now, booming city. People are coming to Colorado Springs, one, for the beauty. It's on the mountains. It's not away. It's not a long view. It's up against the side of the mountain, so it's gorgeous. So people are moving in here quite often. I think the outbound population really is more military than it is actual residents. So corporate supports my growth in every way I think a franchise possibly could. So now they have a ramp-up coach assigned to the franchises as they're ramping up. They have a franchise business consultant assigned to every franchise to help them maximize what they're doing, maximize profits, maximize revenue, make sure they're starting up in accordance with the system. They have a system that works. If you just use it, it will work. So make sure that you kind of know how they expect things to go and move forward, while still giving you the flexibility to be a business owner. What do I like about College Hunks hauling junk and College Hunks moving? Again, I think the energy level. It is such a young business, both from the leadership at the corporate level all the way down. It's a young business, period. So it has a lot of room for growth. And the leaders of it allow that growth to happen if it makes sense. So if you can come to the table with a great idea, obviously it gets staffed and then it gets put into action as soon as possible. If it meets the common sense test, it's something that'll work in this business model. So there's a lot of room to move the business around, to grow it even better, and continue moving forward. So what does franchise allow me that I couldn't do before? So I was in the Army. So a little bit different challenge. It actually lets me sleep till probably 5:30 in the morning. So that's pretty good. It's early to everybody else, but that's 45 minutes late for me. It allows me to, for the first time ever, my enthusiasm, my initiative counts towards me. It allows me to grow me, both from financially and a business sense. While in the military, no matter how hard I worked, I was stuck at that level. Sure, they gave me medals and all kinds of things like that, but it couldn't reward me with what I needed most. I already have recommended the franchise. I have a good friend of mine, a battalion commander friend of mine, who is already looking into buying the franchise. Just in the process I've been through, I purchased the franchise last August. Just in seeing the culture, seeing the people, listening to the corporate chatter, listening to the chatter between franchisees, the environment is perfect. Or as perfect as it can be for this type of business. And I think it has a lot of potential for anyone who wants to get in and work.